Amen. Amen. I just had to share that selection with you this morning. That is a selection from my own church back in New York, the Greater Allen Cathedral, AME Church in Jamaica, Queens, New York. I was a part of that ministry, but I moved out of New York. I went to other cities, other states, but I still have a connection to them back home. These anointed voices on the choir have brought me through so much that I have went through in my personal walk with God, in my struggle from church hurt to feeling abandonment, my family dynamics, and all of that. And that is the only church that I can really speak on that I really felt the love of God touching down in my life. That brought me through so much. The Greater Allen Cathedral. the Judah choir. I don't know if they still as beautiful and as anointed as their voices were when I was there. I haven't lived in New York now for almost over, I would say 15 years or so. So I do still go home to visit, but I don't really have much relatives there. I have my brother that lives there with his family in Harlem, but you know, who else? I have some distant relatives or whatever in New York, but I don't have like my family, and I have some friends that live in New York that are close friends and everything. But when I do go to Greater Allen Cathedral, I still the last I visit there, I felt something different. The ministry changed. People move away. People moved to these different places, got married, then they started their life somewhere else. But the lead singer of that song and the other song, I know the lead singer from the song I played this morning from the Judah Choir. She moved out of New York. She moved to another place, another state, whatever. Maybe her voice is being used in a choir in that church. But the lead singer to this song here, Melanie, was who her name is, was Melanie. I don't know if she's still there. I'm not sure. I got to go visit and see. But that girl voice is anointing. And they wanted to just try to recruit her voice to be out in the world. And she, of course, my pastor led her rightly and told her that wouldn't be a great idea to leave the church. And I think that is a beautiful thing that her pastor told her, Pastor Flake, Pastor Harold Flake, okay, and his wife Elaine McCullen Flake, and his family and his children or whatever. Um, he was a part of the world of Congress. He was a congressman in New York. And they try to put his name in a whole lot of dirt and scandal. Of course, he came out of it after a while because he was like, this is not good for the church. He dedicated his life to the Lord, so he came back to the church to do his work for the Lord instead of being caught up in the politics of the church. But he did do some great things in the community of Jamaica, Queens, how he was able to move out some certain businesses that were surrounding around the community, and the way he had brought some attention to the people about leaving out of the sanctuary and going into liquor stores. He made sure those liquor stores were moved away from the church. He done a lot of things to help God's people. God bless him. God bless him. I haven't done any follow up on him lately. That's bad of me. I need to reach out and find out what's been going on with my pastor back in New York. But anyway, y'all, enough of that. I wanted to just share why I've been playing these selections of songs as I've been opening up on my live this morning. I know I've woken up this morning to tell you about what's been going on around the R. Kelly platforms, the fakeness, the fake people that infiltrate in the mission and what we trying to do here as people who believe in R. Kelly's innocence and also that believe that that was injustice. He was served. Trying to let everybody see the other side, the good side. We want them to see Robert Sylvester Kelly, not the music, but the man behind the music. That's why I was saying shut down the music and put him first. Put him in the spotlight. Show his better qualities. You know, it's sad that the devil took his gift and trying to use it to destroy him. So we got to turn what was evil into something that is good. So anyway, moving forward, and what I'm going to discuss about in this video is I'm talking about this specific channel called the Black Alpha Network. Now, Black Alpha Network, he speaks on a lot of things on reparations for Black American people and us not, we being blocked and harmed of receiving our reparations due to the fact that we have too many Caribbeans, the Africans, and all of those other groups of people from Pan Africans or whatever that is causing us not to receive reparations. I see something differently. I do see a whole lot of something differently because before we became Black Americans, we were Africans. that were brought here as slaves. Now, maybe some may have came here as free Africans or free from the motherland, but there was some of us who were brought here. Most of us were brought here through slavery, captured in some wars in Africa against other tribes, and they sold you off as slaves. If you go back and you study the history of the slave trade and how it all started and what brought us here to be slaves, it was captured by some through the Africans fighting among other Africans in Africa that took them and captured them and sold them to another foreign country off as slaves. And that went on through the Bible in history. Even when you go through the Bible stories, you're going to find that Joseph's brothers sold him off as a slave to the Egyptians because they became jealous of Joseph because he told his brothers about a dream he had of them bowing down to him and they felt insulted. And then on top of that, the father played the part too because he let it be very openly clear that Joseph was his favorite son. And that also caused the other children not to like, the other sons not to like Joseph. Okay, so he was sold off as a slave. So if you really look through the history of the Bible, you're going to find out there was always conflict with family members, power struggles, who's going to be the successor, who's going to succeed and run the family business or whatever. The brothers, even between Esau and Jacob, the two brothers, God loved Jacob and hated Esau. Esau is the one who sells his birthright over to his younger brother. They were twins to the younger twin. They tricked the mother and end up having favoritism over one, and the father favored the older one. So, through the Bible, you're going to see that there was always conflict among the families, the brothers, and even with David and his children. They had even the father, David, had to end up killing his own son who was coming for his life, Absalom. Okay? And it just goes on and on through history. You're going to see conflict among families and among different tribes of people, whatever. And hell is growing larger and larger every day. That's why you have to separate yourself from among them. Even though these channels run a big platform and they seem to recruit a whole lot of people and draw a lot of attention to their platform, being big is not always being good. Being large sometimes means you being even more wicked than good. And that's why I posted this: stop creating fake divisions. Because now we have this platform out here called the Black Alpha Network, who now becoming to be a very big channel for foundational black American people. That is deceptiveness. Okay? And it brings rhetoric, a lot of division, and chaos. That's why I was listening to the channel for a while just to see. One time I even came in, made a comment, and he swiped me out and blocked me. And my comment was about us being is more speaking on unity than division. So he didn't want to hear that. He swiped me out. And if you ever call in on his channel, which he probably be going on today, Sunday, and you want to bring your point across about how you feel about reparations and how you support it and what you don't like about what they're saying, he's gonna cut you off. So that's the kind of channel he runs over there. So I said, hell is growing large because a lot of people like to follow the crowd and get lost right up in there. So you just got to be careful who you follow. Just like I tell people about this R. Kelly stuff. Just because these platforms are out here all big with a lot of subscribers doesn't necessarily mean that those channels are in the best interest of Robert Sylvester Kelly. People rather follow the broad road than the straight and narrow. I'm on the straight and narrow path because I'm a no nonsense channel. I don't like confusion. I don't like division. I don't like destruction. I don't like to be deceived. I don't like none of that. Nobody is going to twist me into believing something when I already know I witnessed it. I already been through it. I already know about it. I already identified with it and everything else like that. I already called it out. I already exposed it. Nobody's going to make me change my mind but God. God will do the changing in due season. But even before I go on dismissing you, I pray for you first. Because I want to leave whatever that's with you. And take my peace and let my peace return back to me. So I just felt it was important that I share this information among some of you. Some of you might even familiar with the channel. But if you go over there, you're going to find some interesting things. Because these people like to be on social media, with all this rhetoric, but you don't really see them out there on the street. You don't see them really forming any organization, calling for something where they going to do their work at. Okay? Now, the thing I liked about Dr. Umar Johnson is that with him building his school, he went on platforms, but he also did the street work. He did the work. He spoke at forums. He spoke on I'm sorry. He spoke at certain forums and everything. He came to be a guest speaker on some things. Why he wanted to do the building the school right out here where I'm at Dover. Well, I'm not in Dover, but in Delaware, over in St. George. That's where he's supposed to be building his school. There's a lot of black history right here in Delaware. It's a very small state, but if you really search Delaware, you're going to find some interesting history on black America, on black people. It was the first state, and then it was the last state to free the slaves. And some people in Delaware still carry that mentality of a slave and not free. Delaware, the first state. Okay, so anyway, Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't agree with everything he talks about. I don't agree with everything he does. I didn't agree with him taking money and not really putting the money back where the money really was supposed to go to. I don't know that. I can't really say um, he misused any of the money. He may have not. I don't know. It's been then I just noticed that he's been getting a lot of stuff going on with him lately and how they froze up his bank account. I haven't heard anything more, no follow up, no nothing on him, but I'm gonna just try to look and see if there is anything going on with him. And I am still in support of him building a school. He might have to make some changes as far as what kind of school he's trying to build. Some things he may have to make some adjustments about. I don't know. But I just know that he has been active, his work, not only here on platforms to get money or whatever, but he's also been doing the work out on the streets. He's been out on the streets. He's been to certain places to speak to build his school. And he had a plan and a mission. I don't know what Black Alpha's plan is. All I know is he got a platform. But I don't know where his work is being done at. I don't see the work. All I know he speaks on reparations, but you can speak on reparations, but where's the reparations going? That's what people don't seem to look at. Where are you going to take the money for the reparations? Are you going to invest it back into the black community? Are you going to take the money and use it to build a school, or are you going to make a bank, a black bank? Are you going to use it for some kind of program for whatever, for to help your people that are destitute, or your people that are suffering, and you're going to have a program for black youth, or you're going to have a program for women and children, or you're going to have some kind of plan you got behind your reparations, your mission. If you want to get your reparations, there's plenty of black people who gotten reparations, whether they know it or not. But where are you going to invest your reparations at? That was stolen from you, and that you feel you need a need for, just not just for a platform. you know this is what I'm saying. But people are not looking at, like, what is his mission? Are you going to create some kind of hospital for children for suffering with some kind of illness, or kids that's dealing with mental disorders like ADHD, or some kind of autism program for black children? What are you going to do with your reparations? You out here crying for reparations, but where is it going? Is it going into a food business for ethnical foods, markets for black communities, or is it going to go towards education? Is it going to go towards some kind of fund, what they call college tuition? Are you going to dedicate your money to help um, HBCUs, the histories of black colleges and universities? Where is you going to give back to your black people that you are claiming that we deserve reparations? Is it going to, like Dr. Umar, he already had a plan for his reparations. His reparations going on his school. He's dedicating his school to the Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, whatever. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey school. Okay? Giving it back to the black community, our history. So where is your money going? You got all these 30,000 followers, or 30 something followers on your platform, but what are you giving the people? What are you giving back to the people? Or just you just out here just chasing clout? What kind of programs are you going to be putting into the black community? What are you going to do to help your people? This is what people got to follow and understand. Instead of you just throwing out this rhetoric about Pan Africans and Caribbeans and Haitians, what are you going to do with the money so that you can do to build up the lives of your people? Are you going to put that money in the community for, like I said, for housing? Are you going to use the money for, like I said, an educational program? Are you going to use the money for a youth program, for for a shelter for mothers and children from domestic violence, or whatever? What are you going to do? Are you going to use the money for us to get better, protection in the community from police department? Are you going to use the money for a fire department, for a black fire department, or whatever like that? That more blacks should be on the force, for the police force to police our communities. More blacks should be in the fire department. More blacks should become lawyers and doctors and judges in the courthouse, or whatever, for the justice system, for the government, or whatever. More jobs for that, to put money to invest in something that is going to help black, foundational black Americans. Where is the money going? Once you get your hands on a reparation fund, what are you going to do with the money? What is your plan? What is your mission? Because Dr. Umar already had his out there. He's been out there for a long time, because people were not feeling if the money was going towards. Yes, he has to pay his workers. He has to pay for that gym to get fixed. He got to pay for the school to be built. He got to pay to get the pipes running. He got to pay himself. Of course, he got to eat. He got to live. So where is your plans with your reparations? Are you going to have summer youth job programs for the youth in the community? What are you going to do? What is your mission? What is your plan? But out here just shooting out all of this division and all of this crazy talk. See, these are the things that you need to understand while you following somebody with a big mouth. Okay? Ask some questions. Vet them. Vet them. Or you might just be following nowhere. Okay? So, with that being said, your girl Casey McDaniel, I'm out of here. Peace.